Y'all, welcome and good morning. We are gonna be talking about living abroad, how I discover. I hope y'all can read that whole banner. I feel like everybody has like different phones, and I just hope everybody can read it. Here from the West Coast. Okay, so it's what, 8:40 for you? Okay, so still somewhat early. I'm on the East Coast, so it's almost lunchtime over here. I said I was gonna go live at 11. It's 11:38. So yeah, we on CP time today. It is what it is. But welcome, y'all. Welcome. Thank y'all so much for joining. Please go ahead and get some hearts on the screen. Thank you guys so much who have already started double tapping. You know, I always tell people, whether it's for me or you already had a day. Yeah. This is like my fourth item on my to-do list for today. Please, let's go ahead and get some hearts on the screen. Y'all, whether you are joining my live or anybody else's live, please double tap, because it costs y'all nothing to double tap, and it honestly means so much to us creators. It's not easy out here to be a creator, despite what some people are making it look like. So I would really appreciate it if you would continue to double tap, whether you're just coming in for a minute or whether you plan on hanging out with me. Hopefully you will stay to hang out with me. But even if you're just popping in, you might as well put some hearts on the screen. If y'all know anybody who's interested in moving abroad, if you have somebody you're trying to get to move abroad with you, somebody who may not believe it's possible for them, somebody who be talking about it, but they ain't really being about it, make sure you share the live with them as well, because we want to share the wealth, okay? There's enough to go around for everybody. So let's go ahead and get a quick read on the room. Thank y'all so much for the hearts. Quick read on the room. Who is new here? If you're new to my live, if you've never seen me before today, drop a number 1 in the comments. If you have been in my lives before, y'all know what's up. If y'all not new to this, y'all true to this. Y'all been rocking with me, drop a number 2. Kaleidoscope Heart, welcome. To keep dropping those number 1s if you are new here. And if you are at least somewhat serious about moving abroad, living abroad in the next 3, 6, 12 months, dropping number 3 for me in the comments. I'm gonna have to fall off. I'm not ready yet. I'm so excited to get my passport for the first time. That is so exciting. Listen, moving abroad ain't going nowhere. Even if it's not something you're planning to do right now, just start off with traveling. That's what I recommend people do anyway. Stuntastic, welcome back. Thank you for joining me again. Keep dropping those number 1s if y'all are brand new here. And yeah, please keep those hearts coming. I really appreciate it. So today I'm going to talk about 4 ways that I discovered that moving abroad was realistic for me. And I'll talk a little bit about my journey as well. I'll also answer as many questions from y'all as I can. I do want to also let y'all know I did put my Move Abroad bundle back in my bio, because y'all be asking. So I don't let it live in my bio, because I already have a lot of stuff in there, and it's actually, believe it or not, kind of lower priority for me. But I do like to do live promos for it, because I love when people show up live. I feel like y'all deserve something special, because y'all not just out there just trying to be zoned out, scrolling and scrolling. Y'all are like, okay, look, let me go sit and listen to something at least somewhat educational. Here my tripod acting ghetto. There's nothing new. Y'all already know. It be like me versus this tripod pretty much every time I go live. I'm gonna get it together one day. I feel you, Kimberlea. So I lost my train of thought. What was I just talking about? Yeah, I forgot. Oh, the Move Abroad bundle. Yes, for anybody who's interested in moving abroad, if you want to get out of the United States, if you want to know what it's like to experience life in another country, but you have no idea where to start, grab my Move Abroad bundle at the link in my bio. It's already marked down, but you can take off an additional 50% off by using the promo code ABROAD2025 while I am live. I will leave it in there while I'm live, so make sure you take advantage of the live offer. What country do you live in? That's a great question. I'll go ahead and give my introduction. So welcome, y'all. My name is Bianca, and me and my husband left the United States last year to live abroad as digital nomads. Drop the word yes in the comments if you know what a digital nomad is, and drop the word no in the comments if you do not know what a digital nomad is. Probably not a huge surprise. I hear this question all the time. Which country did you move to? Where do you live? Etc. And it's a very, very valid question. The thing is, since I am a digital nomad, that means that I move around to different places. I don't just live in one place. So since I left the US last year to live abroad as a digital nomad, February 4th, 2024, me and my husband got on a one-way flight to Brazil. And outside of Brazil, or including Brazil, we have been to 10 countries outside of the US since February of last year. So since last year, we've been in Brazil, Spain, Vietnam, Thailand, Japan, China, Indonesia, Panama, Colombia, and Mexico. So we have been around the block since last year. And there are a lot of different ways for you to live abroad. Some people love living abroad as a digital nomad. They want to move around from place to place. Some people are more so like, nah, let me just go to one place and be settled. And there's not necessarily a right or wrong answer. Now, there are advantages and advantages to both. These are things that I talk about in my Move Abroad bundle as well. So if you grab that at the link in my bio, you will hear me walk through essentially my real life experiences and like, you know, the difference in when you go to one place versus whenever you move around from place to place. But yeah, we are digital nomads, so we move around a lot. We visited the US three times. Let me just do this. That's easier. We visited the U.S. 3 times since we left. We're actually in our 3rd U.S. visit. So we came here for a wedding. I also spoke at a Move Abroad conference, and I'm actually in the process of renewing my passport. But yeah, we're like I said, we be in and out. But gonna talk a little bit about how I discovered this was realistic for me. So for those of you who've been in my lives before, you've probably heard me talk about mindset a lot. And you've probably heard me say that I feel like whenever it comes to travel, whenever it comes to moving abroad, living abroad, etc., honestly, I feel like there's not enough creators that are talking about what role mindset plays in all of this, because we love to go look up these videos. We love to create these videos of like, oh, well, here are the best things to do in Panama. Oh, here is the best country if you want to take a beach trip for Christmas, right? Like, we love to look up these types of content. We love these types of content. But the fact of the matter is, most people don't go nowhere. And most people save a whole bunch of videos. Most people think about traveling. Most people think, oh yeah, traveling, that would be so fun. That would be so cool. But so many people never actually book the flight. So many people never actually live abroad because we just assume it's impossible. And this is why I go live, to show you that even as somebody who grew up black and broke, I have now traveled to 24 different countries. And I left the US last year to live abroad as a digital nomad. I currently am a digital nomad. I move around from place to place. So even though if you were talking like pen and paper, this isn't supposed to be realistic for me. And yet here I am. And I'm here to tell you that this life is possible for you too, if you are willing to make it happen. Grand Rising, proper off-grid-ish. I like that name. So in terms of how I discovered moving abroad was realistic for me, that chick, you put work in question mark, and I don't know what your question is. I need more. I'm gonna need more than one word. But if anybody does have questions about moving abroad, go ahead and drop them in the comments, because I will answer. Answer as I can. People who have families can't be nomads. Yes, they can. I interviewed a woman who is a nomad. She moves around in Mexico with her 2 kids and her husband. So yeah, actually you can be a nomad if you have a family. But I will tell you, if you kind of have this mentality of what you can't do, you should probably go ahead and leave the live, because I'm not the person for you, because I don't really believe in the word can't. Like, I'm like, anything is possible. Where there's a will, there's a way. So, well, facts over feelings, then like leave. Like, okay, I'm not talking to you. Like, I don't, whatever. Let me see. Love following your journey. Thank you. What kind of work can you do? Okay, yeah, that's a great question. And I get this question all the time. And I also go into this in my Move Abroad bundle. For those of you who are just now joining, I do have that back in my bio. While I'm live, you can take off an additional 50% off. It's at the link in my bio. Just use the promo code ABROAD2025. So as far as what I do for work, so I am an entrepreneur. I have multiple streams of income. There are many things that I do, but I typically throw them into the 2 categories of digital marketing and affiliate marketing. I do also have a lot of videos on my page about like different ways that I earn money while I'm traveling. So I sell digital products. I do a lot of affiliate marketing. I have books published on Amazon. I do like paid interviews, paid surveys. I am on a podcast. I have a lot of different things that I do to make money online, but there are so many things that you can do as well. You can start an online business. You can freelance. You can like coach, consult, maybe with skills you already have. You can get a remote job. There's so many things that you can do, right? And like I said, I do go through a lot of these in my Move Abroad. I do go through a lot of these in my Move Abroad bundle for those of you who want more of a deep dive. But there are so many things that you could do to start making more money. I really I'm it really hurts me when I hear so many people talk about how they don't travel or like they won't or they can't move abroad because of money. Like, y'all, we really have to start expanding our mindsets. And I get it, okay? I know what it's like because I grew up in a world where sometimes I came home from school and the lights was off, okay? Sometimes I came home and the water wasn't on, okay? Like, there were many times where I was lying to other students in school about seeing the new episode of That's So Raven last night because our cable was cut off. I did not grow up with money. I did not grow up with resources. I didn't grow up in a family that was well off, okay? My dad did not even finish high school and my mom was a college dropout. I am not someone who on paper should be living the life that I live. And yet I've traveled to 24 different countries. Again, this is why I go live. I go live to show you I'm not just a travel creator. I'm not just a content creator. Like, I am a real human being who has seen the world. And I want to make sure that you do the same thing, because I don't care about having just another follower. I don't care about the fact that, oh, this many people are saving my videos. I care about the fact whenever people come to me and they say, hey, because of you, I booked a trip. Somebody commented the other day, I'm like, almost made me cry. She literally was like, because of you, I just moved to Costa Rica. My rent is $500 a month. I am surrounded by beautiful trees. I am so excited to be here. Like, y'all, this is why I'm here. This is why I'm here saying these things to you, because you need to know that this life is possible for you if you are willing to make it happen, but nobody is coming to save you and nobody is going to do it for you. So put aside the excuses, put aside the complaining, stop being a victim, and start taking accountability for your life. Start taking action on what your goal is. If your goal is to move abroad, what have you done in the last 1, 3, 30 days to move you closer to that? Because if the answer is nothing, then let's be real. It's not a priority for you. You're already spending money on things you don't need. You already spend your time on things that you don't need. Imagine if you shifted your mindset. Imagine if you shifted your priorities. What would be possible for you? If you decided that, you know what? Yeah, I do love Love is Blind, but instead of binging this season, I'm gonna go do some research. Oh yeah, I do normally go out to brunch with my friends on Saturday and drop $100, but instead I'm gonna invest half of that in the Move Abroad bundle and have all this information and learn how to get the hell out of the United States. Like, so often we think that we're waiting on some big thing to happen in life to change our lives. Y'all, stop. Because what matters are the tiny things that we do every day. What matters are the thoughts that we have every day. The small actions that add up over a course of time. These are the things that matter. Let me scroll back up because I know I missed some comments. Oops. Okay, wait, there we go. Okay, that question I answered. I found this place, globalsoul.io. I watch video about people moving all the time. I've never heard of that. Is that like a website for people who live abroad? I know a lot of families abroad. Yeah. What if you have a pension? Nate, I don't think that well, from what I've heard, it doesn't. You mean like for retirement? Like your retirement, like that should be fine. But if you're talking about something more specific, like I would recommend doing your research. Honestly, like I don't know for sure. So I'm not going to be like, yeah, you'll be fine. Like I would definitely look into it before you left. You are so welcome, that chick. This lifestyle is very reachable. It 100%. Okay. I'm moving to France. Let's go, Lynette. No, marry a foreigner. Yeah. Well, yeah, you know, that's an option as well. I have seen that. I have absolutely seen that happen. Thank you, Mrs. Stuntastic. I go into a university and a research center to study abroad, period. Certain countries are usually moved to in an early 100%. That's how I met my Senegalese French husband, and now I'm on my way out, period. Oh, that's so funny. My husband is actually from Sierra Leone, but he's American. Like he came to the States in, I don't know what year, but he came to the States when he was like 9 or 10, but he was born in Sierra Leone. Do not marry a foreigner. It's crazy. Marry who you want to marry. Like, I'll just leave it at that. Okay. International lifestyles are possible. Yes, 100%. Okay. Let me get into my list. Let me get into my list of the 4 ways that I discovered that moving abroad was realistic for me. By the way, thank y'all for the hearts. Please continue to double tap. I appreciate it. Shit. Y'all give me 1 second. Okay, I'm back. Okay, so getting into 4 ways that I discovered moving abroad was realistic for me. Shit, my pants are stuck under the chair. Oh my God. There we go. Okay. I am going to I'm going to start this list in a moment. I swear. Just let me get my shit together over here. All right. 4 ways that I discovered moving abroad was realistic for me. So, one way that I discovered that moving abroad was possible for me was by simply being curious and open-minded. Drop the word yes in the comments if y'all know some people who are so closed-minded about everything. Drop the word yes in the comments if y'all know people who you know they're not the type of person who you can bring your new, fun, adventurous ideas to because they're going to have something negative to say, or they're going to try to talk you out of it, or because they don't understand it, they automatically want to disagree with it. Drop the word yes in the comments if y'all know somebody like that, because I'm telling you right now, don't be that person. Okay? And I want to be honest and say that there have been scenarios where even I have been that person. Why is there a line going across my screen? Do y'all see that? Like the little line? Okay, never mind. Because that's really weird. But maybe y'all can't see it. Yes, it's annoying and I'm low contact with them. It's mostly my family. Y'all, that's a hard part that a lot of people don't want to talk about. Is that sometimes it's your family and friends that are blocking your blessings. Sometimes it's the people who are supposed to be closest to you. Sometimes it's the people who you think are going to have your back the most. Sometimes those are the ones that don't have your back. Sometimes those are the ones that are holding you back from the life that you want to live, whether it's because of their words, whether it's because of their actions, whether it is because they are physically, emotionally trying to stop you from what it is, or whether it's you allowing what they think to stop you from living your best life. Sometimes it's the people that's closest to you, unfortunately. Okay, it kind of is what it is. And it is sad. I'm not gonna lie to you. It is sad and it's hard, okay? Especially, y'all, think about like entrepreneurship for experience. Think about entrepreneurship, for example. Like I can remember having to get to a point where as an entrepreneur, I had to be like, Bianca, what your family and friends think or do doesn't matter. Them not engaging with your content, them not, supporting your business. At the end of the day, you didn't build your business for your family and friends. You're not moving abroad for your family and friends. So you have to realize you only get one life. You only get one life. And only you can decide how you want to live it. Only you can decide what life you are going to create. Only you can decide if you're going to create a life that you cannot wait to wake up to, or if you are going to continue to allow what other people are saying or doing to stop you from living the life that you actually want to live. Because time is not waiting on anybody, okay? Time is not waiting on anybody. So one way that I discovered moving abroad was possible for me, one way that I realized this is so realistic for me, is simply from being open-minded, talking to people from different cultures. And the way I was actually introduced to this is through work. My very first job out of college, I was a social media manager at this tech company, and I worked with people who were not from the US. We actually eventually ended up acquiring a company in Bulgaria, and that was how I traveled for the first time. My passport, my first passport, y'all, that was paid for by my job. And I'm always grateful to this day because, granted, I probably would have traveled at some point, but, I just like to believe that things work out how they are meant to work out. But I was literally spending time with people who were not like me, people who are not from my background. Y'all, we have a tendency to gravitate towards people who are just like us. We want to link up with the people who think the exact way we do, the people who watch the same shows, the people who have the same hobbies. Get out of your comfort zone and talk to somebody that don't look like you. Get out of your comfort zone and talk to somebody that's not from the United States. Get out of your comfort zone and go out to eat somewhere that's not a bar or, just Mexican. And listen, I love me some Mexican food. Don't get me wrong. But why don't you why don't you take it a step further? Go to an Indian restaurant. Go to a Thai restaurant. Go to an Indonesian restaurant. And for those of you who live in places where you actually have areas like Little China, Little Korea, go visit these areas. You got people at your job that are not from the U.S., talk to them. Have a little virtual coffee. Learn more about them. Start being more curious. And of course, travel. Travel outside of Miami. Travel outside of Atlanta. Travel outside of Cancun. Travel outside of the Rio Resort in Jamaica. Get out there and see the world. Become more curious. Become more open-minded. Start, even if you have to start in the U.S., start learning different ways that you can become more global right here. Because these things may seem like they are small, but they are not. I promise you. I remember getting to a point in my life where, I had a friend from the Netherlands. I was married to a West African. I was working with a ton of people from India. I was friends with a girl from Mexico. Y'all, the world that I grew up in, no. The town that I grew up in, you were either black, white, or Mexican. And I promise you, most of us were segregated, okay? Where I grew up, diversity was not a thing. It was not a thing. And then whenever I ended up leaving for school, I ended up going to the most diverse college in North Carolina. And when I tell you, I was stunned. Like, I literally remember looking around and being like, why the hell are so many Indian people here? I literally asked that because it's not something that I was used to. Now, guess what? Indian is one of my favorite foods. One of my favorite foods. Listen, you ever come to North Carolina? You ever in the Raleigh area? Let me point you in the direction of the top Indian restaurants to eat at around here. And again, I know this seems like it's small, but it's not. It is not. Then one of the main ways that I discovered that moving abroad was realistic for me was becoming more open-minded. By me literally putting out into the universe, hey, I'm open to new experiences. I'm open to meeting new people. Stop listening to Drake talking about no new friends. That's the stupidest shit I ever heard. Why would you not want to make new friends? Why would you only want to be around the exact same people for the rest of your life? That is dumb. That is dumb. Make new friends. Okay? Y'all, I went to Egypt, not last year. I went to Egypt in 2023 with my Egyptian friend. In 2023, I went and stayed in Germany at my friend's house who lives in Germany. Okay? I got a trip on the books somewhere with my Dominican friend to go to Dominican Republic. My husband, who is from Sierra Leone, we are going to go visit Sierra Leone. Do you see how who you talk to, who you link up with, who you become friends with in your everyday life can actually open so many doors for you? You'd be surprised at opportunities that you wouldn't even think of yourself if you were not actually a curious and open-minded person. So start practicing being more open-minded and more curious in your everyday life. Exactly, Snuggle Bunny. Travel outside of a cruise ship port, please. Moving out of the country was hard as moving out of my parents' house, but just as beneficial. Listen, people don't want to believe it. They don't want to believe it. Thank y'all so much for the hearts. Y'all, this does not have to be complicated. We want it to be complicated and it's not. We want moving abroad to be so hard and it's not. You can make it simple. I'm not saying everybody's journey is the same. I'm not saying there are not going to be things that will be hard or that won't be hard. There will be. There will be so many unexpected things that happen. Setbacks are inevitable. So what you gonna do? Not go? Okay. And if you don't think it's possible for you, then it's not. Because that's how the mind works, you feel me? If you think it's too hard, then it's too hard. If you assume it's too expensive, then it is too expensive. Y'all, you get to keep your own excuses. Nobody's going to take those from you. If you want to keep them, you can keep them. But if you actually want to make it happen, then start taking action. And if you need some help, if you need some guidance, this is why I have the Move Abroad bundle. It's at the link in my bio. Like I said, if you get it while I'm live, you can get the 50% off with the promo code ABROAD2025. If you want to do this, but you need some guidance, if you don't want to have to do all the research yourself, you can take advantage of the bundle. So the second way, and this is probably, no, not probably, this is honestly, this probably should be, this is number one. This is the number one way. I'm sorry, I just started smiling just thinking about it. Thank y'all for the hearts. The number one way that I discovered that moving abroad was realistic for me is that I did a test drive. I did a test drive in a safe space. And when I say a safe space, because that's different for everybody, a safe space for me was with help. The first time I ever lived abroad was in 2019. I traveled with the company and I did a group travel trip, whatever. I traveled with a group of 28 strangers to 4 different countries in 4 months in 2019. I traveled to, I almost said Brazil. That's not true. I traveled to Chile, Peru, Colombia, and Mexico with a group of strangers. And that was the first time I ever really experienced what it was like to live abroad. I'm not talking about being on a vacation, y'all. I'm talking about doing laundry abroad. I'm talking about going to the grocery store abroad. I'm talking about going to the gym abroad, okay? I'm talking about having a SIM card in that country, like having a local phone number for another country. I'm talking about working abroad, okay? There is a big difference. There's a big difference between vacation and traveling, and there's a big difference between traveling and living abroad. They are not the same. Taking a test drive of moving abroad is probably the number one way you are going to be sure. I'm not even going to say probably. Taking a test drive of living abroad is the number one way for you to be sure if the living abroad life is for you. Living abroad sounds so sexy. Everybody and their baby mama want to go live abroad just because it sounds good and all the content creators are doing it and it feels like everybody is moving abroad. Baby, that does not mean it's for you. Living abroad is not for everybody. And you will never know how spoiled we are in the United States in terms of convenience, having everything at our fingertips, okay? You will never understand how convenient we have it in the U.S. until you live abroad. And this is one of the main reasons why living abroad is not for everybody. And if it's not for you, that's okay. If it's not for you, that's fine. But why not test it out? And there's a lot of different ways that you can test out living abroad. One way that I talk about all the time is by trusted house sitters. Do y'all like pets? Let me know in the comments. Drop the word yes if you like pets, you like animals. Drop the word no if you like, nah, I'm good. It's not for me. The convenience is not worth my conscience. Marissa, we on the same wave. We are on the same wave. That's not the case for everybody, and that's okay. Trusted house sitters is one example of a way that you can get a taste of living abroad. If you like pets, y'all, you can sign up for trusted house sitters. I have a link in my bio. My referral actually gives you 25% off. I have a link in my bio for you to sign up. If you sign up for trusted house sitters, you can be taking care of adorable cats and dogs and, whatever animals you like in different countries. And you can see what it's like to live abroad as a local. Expatsy. Expatsy is another company Expatsy is a company that specializes in helping U.S. citizens move abroad from the United States. And they do scouting trips. I have a whole Expatsy playlist on my page. You can go see examples. I have more information about them. No, I lied. It's not a link in my bio. I thought it was, but it's not. Because I took it out. But you can ask me any questions you have about Expatsy. But having a little taste of living abroad will make a huge difference in your moving abroad journey. Now, do some people who have never traveled outside of the U.S. before move abroad and they love it? Yeah, absolutely. I'm not saying it's impossible. But I'm telling you, if you are somebody who is not well traveled, and again, this is why I did this group travel, okay? Because even though not every single thing was done for me, right? I started to book my flights and stuff, but I didn't have to worry about the accommodations. I didn't have to worry about where I was going to work. I didn't have to worry about finding different activities. A lot of the stuff was done for me. And that's how I knew that this is a life that I could do. I knew that this was a life that I wanted because I actually tried it out first. And you can try it out in a way that works for you. Scouting trips, they have some that are 4 days. They have some that are 9 days. If you have, the confidence and the courage, you can make your own scouting trip without anybody. If you are nah, I'm cool, I can go travel on my own, you can do that too. Go do your own scouting trip. There are so many different ways to test out living abroad. But that is the number 2 way that I knew that this life was realistic for me. I need to message you because I need some one-on-one advice. What questions do you have? I don't actually offer one-on-ones, Joycey, but if you have specific questions, you can ask me here or you can send me a DM. I'll answer whatever I can for you, but I don't do one-on-one consultations, but I know several people who do. Hello, Pure Life Travels. I'm a country girl at heart. Listen, Charlie, I've been a country girl my entire life, and then I went and lived abroad, and I was in the city, and I was like, oh, being able to walk outside my door and go get groceries, being able to walk to get food, it changed the game for me. It changed the game for me. I've been a country girl. I was a country girl for most of my life, and now, I mean, I don't even know if I would say I'm a city girl per se, but honestly, I don't know. It feels weird. I'm not gonna label it because I feel like I can't claim that because in my heart, that's not how I grew up. But after having those experiences abroad, I am changed forever. I just posted a story on my TikTok that happened. A story on my TikTok that happened tonight. Hey dear, where do you live? Where do you live now? So I'm a digital nomad, y'all. I don't live anywhere. Since last year, I've been in 10 different countries. I've been in 10 different countries since last year, but I'm a digital nomad, so I move around from place to place. And in the Move Abroad bundle, I talk about the differences in being a digital nomad, living abroad versus if you choose one place to live abroad and you just go there and you get settled. There's nothing wrong with either. It's just advantages and disadvantages for both. I just got hit on by a granny in her late 60s. That's so funny. All right, y'all. The number three way how I discovered moving abroad was realistic for me. One of the main ways I discovered moving abroad was realistic for me was seeking representation. Seeking other people who are out here living this living abroad lifestyle who look like me. People who have a similar background. People who are Black, right? Like seeking representation. For any of you who have been following me, whether you just started following me or you just came across me, there are certain people, y'all, and even when I'm looking up keywords, I see people are specifically looking up moving abroad, Black woman, living abroad as a Black American. People are seeking representation because it matters. Because it matters. Whether you are Black or LGBTQ plus, or you have a disability, or you are a veteran, or you have children, right? Seeking representation from other people who are in similar situations as me or who have a similar background. That's another reason I discovered moving abroad was realistic for me. Remember I told y'all in 2019, I went and traveled those 4 months in those 4 different countries, right? That was the first time, y'all, that was the first time I discovered that there are a lot of Black people outside the US, and my mind was blown. My mind was blown. Me and my husband, we were in Colombia, and Charlie said, I want to get out of the United States. What's stopping you, Charlie? Me and my husband were in Colombia, and we were it was like Comuna 13. It's like a really popular favela. And we were just walking. We didn't even do a tour. We were just walking around by ourselves, which, I mean, some people wouldn't recommend, but you know, y'all know how I am in safety. So there's that. But we were walking around, and then these 2 people heard us speaking English, and they were like, are y'all American? And like, we turned around and we met another Black couple there. And so my husband was actually just there visiting. I was the one who was actually doing like the full like travel shebang. Thank y'all for the hearts, by the way. Thank y'all for double tapping. Me and my husband were there together, but I ended up hanging out with the girl like after he left, and then we ended up going to this Black owned restaurant in Colombia. Y'all, my jaw was on the floor. My job was on the floor. My job was on the floor. I was like, a Black owned restaurant in Colombia. And I've been to a Black owned restaurant in Thailand. I've been to a Black owned restaurant in Mexico. Like, I've been to Black owned restaurants in several countries outside of the United States. But this came from me seeking representation. Another reason I discovered moving abroad was realistic for me was because I saw so many people out there doing it who look like me in person and online. Because y'all, back when I first started doing slow travel, whenever I first had my initial living abroad experiences, I was not following nobody like me. And maybe they were out there, maybe there were pages like this, but I wasn't following any of them. So this is something that I discovered in person. And then once I came back, I started, that's not even true. I'm not even going to lie to you. When I came back, I didn't start following people. I didn't. Like, it's still, like, I didn't actually start following people who lived abroad until around the time that I left. Okay? Well, I mean, that's true, but I was like, I wouldn't get into the whole story. I was in Paris. I was doing an Exploring Black Paris tour, and the guy leading the tour was half American and half Jamaican. And we were talking about the differences in living abroad versus living in the U.S. And that's actually what was the catalyst of me and my husband leaving the U.S. We thought we were going to be living in Florida right now, y'all. We thought we were going to be living in Florida. But instead, because I was in Paris on this tour, and then I was reminded of the experience that I had in 2019, which is from number 2, right? Number 2, having a little test drive. And that's how I ended up texting my husband like, hey, let's move abroad instead of moving to Florida. And that's where it started. And then I started posting about my moving abroad journey. And then people started asking me so many questions. Y'all, I never expected to grow this page to 26,000 followers. I was shocked. I'm still shocked to this day that there are 26,000 humans that at some point decided to follow me. Like, but here we are. Here we are. Where they at, who have children and not rich. All over. Me. Oh, you said have children. No. I thought you said not have children. People who have children, go look in Facebook groups. Go, look up people who are living abroad. Look up living abroad with kids, living abroad as a family. Just search. There are plenty of people out there. And I also have people in my Move Abroad bundle. So in the Move Abroad bundle, you get a 21-page guide. Okay, how to choose your move abroad country, health insurance, how to make money abroad, how to health insurance options, how to find housing, LGBTQ+, if you have a disability, if you are a veteran, and I list a ton of people who are already doing it, including people who have children and who are not rich. You get a 21-page guide with all that information in my Move Abroad bundle, and you also get 12 videos. If you think this live is helpful, y'all, there are 12 of these. There are 12 videos in the Move Abroad bundle. It's basically an entire course on how you can get the hell out of the United States if that's something you are serious about doing, but you just need some guidance. You just need some questions answered. You need an all-in-one, one-stop shop resource where you can get all of your questions answered. And remember, it's only on here. The Move Abroad bundle is coming out of my bio whenever I get off live. So listen, decide if you are serious about this, be an action taker. And don't forget the promo code ABROAD2025 to take off an additional 50%. That's my main concern, being a black man in another country. Listen, if you're being a black man in the United States, you don't need to be worried about being a black man in another country. Applying to the Fulbright. I have no idea what that is. Wow, where are you? I'm in the U.S. visiting right now. Florida is racist. I mean, I'm in North Carolina. Races are all over. I'm struggling with visa residency right now. Moving around might be the best option. I'm single, no kids. 100%. 100%. I did a live where I was talking to someone about this, and this was actually Luminous. I have no idea how to. Yeah, I cannot. Luminescence. I cannot pronounce that. But that's actually a perfect example of something that I have talked about on here. People who are like, I want to move abroad, but I can't. My visa in Spain keeps getting blocked. Then stop trying to go to Spain. Go somewhere else. Stop trying to go to Spain right now, okay? I'm not saying that Spain can't be in your future, but there are so many different countries out there. And especially if you go to a place where you can just be there on a tourist visa, meaning you don't have to get any special kind of visa. If you can go somewhere where you can stay for at least 6 months. Mexico is a great example. You can go stay in Mexico for 6 months. If you want to get out of the U.S. sooner rather than later, but right now you don't even really have the brain capacity to be trying to figure out the visa process, or when something is taking too long, pick a different place for now. Albania, you can stay an entire year as a U.S. citizen. Be willing to be flexible. I should do a whole live on this. This is another reason why so many people get caught up on bullshit. So many people get caught up in thinking that move abroad is too hard and too complicated because you're so rigid. You're like, well, I want to move abroad, but the country has to be this, and I can't put up with this, and I got to have this. Stay your ass in the United States then. Stay your ass in the United States. If you're going to be so picky that no country will work for you if it doesn't have insert list of all of your ridiculous ass stipulations, just stay in the United States. Because honestly, nobody else probably don't want your little picky ass anyway. Be willing to be flexible. Thank y'all for the hearts. Be willing to be flexible. And the visa, that's just one example. There are a lot of different reasons where for going to one country. There are people who are like, oh, I want to go to New Zealand, but they can't afford the flight. Okay, well then you better go to Mexico. Better go to Costa Rica. Or save some more money. But stop acting like this is impossible because of this one very specific thing that is not working out. Fulbright program to study or teach English abroad. Oh, nice. I haven't heard of that. I've only heard of the TEFL. You said I got it. Did I? Because I feel like I butchered your name. I'm so sorry. Living in Bangkok right now, I never realized there was as many Black LGBT. Really? Oh, yeah. I mean, I definitely knew that. Fulbright is Gov sponsored scholarship program. I love this. Barbados 6 months no visa. Thank you, Gail. Thank you, Gail. If you're starting, you'll find a way to eat. Period. That was my intro to you at this live. Welcome, Honeyvine. Welcome. As you can see, it's all tough love in here. Okay, it is all tough love in here. So that is the third way that I discovered moving abroad was realistic for me. That was number 3 out of 4. Looking for representation. Being in these other countries and looking around and seeing other people who look like me. Being in other countries and linking up with other people who look like me. Hanging out with Black people in Thailand. Hanging out with Black people in Mexico. Hanging out with Black people in Japan. Yo, I went to an R&B. I went to an R&B event and a club in Japan. I am forever changed. I'm forever changed. I will never hear Keyshia Cole Love again and not think about that night. I never will. If y'all are on Instagram, if y'all are on my Instagram, I think I have it in my highlights. Y'all, seeking representation was such a big part of discovering that moving abroad was possible for me. Find some people out there that has some kind of not related, but that you have something in common with, and they're doing what you are doing, and start following them. Reach out, ask questions, go to their lives. Has anyone done this with kids? So many people have done this with kids. I don't know if you meet anybody in the live. Anybody in the live, I don't know. But so many people live abroad with kids, y'all. So many people. And again, I list so many of these people in my Move Abroad bundle. 10-year China visa, 5 years Thailand. Yeah, the digital nomad visa for Thailand is 5 years. I didn't know about the China one. Oh, anyone in the live? Yeah, that I have no idea. But there is, if you go on my page, virtually Nayla, if you go on my page, there's a video of me. It has like a little blue sticker on it. There's a woman. She does slow travel in Mexico with 2 kids. I'm trying to think. I know other people do it with kids, and I'm thinking about how I can send them to you, because I'm trying to think of their names. There's a girl on here. Her name, I'm blanking. I don't know her username. Her name is Flower, but I can't think of her username. But she lives abroad in Ecuador with her son. Whenever we were in Merida, Mexico, you can go look up what is it called? Brothers and Sisters in Merida. There's a lot of people in that Facebook group that have kids. I just did a video for people traveling with children and things for kids to do in Bangkok. Boom. More resources right there. Okay, and then number four, for how I discovered moving abroad was realistic for me. You're so welcome. How I discovered moving abroad was realistic for me. I took the leap. I did it. I decided to go and live abroad. Empress Ebony, thank you so much. Thank you for the gifts and the hearts. Susie, hello. This is the main way, okay? The main way, the number one way I discovered that moving abroad was realistic for me was by moving abroad. I did it. I executed. I implemented. I took action. Despite the fact that my situation wasn't perfect. Despite the fact that I didn't have it all figured out. Despite the fact that I had fears. Despite the fact that I couldn't predict what was going to happen. Despite the fact that setbacks happened. Okay? They're still happening. My life is not perfect just because I left the U.S. to live abroad. But I still took the leap. You can do 1, 2, and 3, but I promise you, none of it don't matter if you don't actually take the leap. Like, it doesn't. Like, y'all, you gotta stop doing all of this. Stop doing all of this. Start walking the walk. Thank you so much, Empress. we are doing it also, but I fear it may be too late. Why would it be too late? Why would it be too late? Y'all, where there is a will, there is a way. Thank you, Empress, for all the gifts. I'm visiting Nigeria in a few weeks, but I'm planning to move there as well. Yes, I love that you are visiting first. That's incredible. I highly recommend visiting. I highly recommend visiting the countries that you're interested in, y'all. Like, go see these countries, okay? Because we are in a war. Nigerians are in a war. Like, y'all, you are the one that is holding you back. I was going to say I hate to tell you, but actually I don't even hate to tell you. You holding you back. Self-sabotage? Woo! Self-sabotage will have that time passing and you look up and it's another year. It's another 2 years. It's another 5 years. I've had people in my DMs telling me they've been wanting to live abroad for 10 years. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Y'all, time is not waiting on anybody. Are you really going to get to the end of your days and realize that you never lived abroad because you were a little bit scared? Scared money don't make no money. Scared money don't make no money, okay? Do it scared. You're waiting on the fear to go away. You're waiting to feel 100% confident. You ain't going. You're not going to go. You're not going to go. You cannot just keep waiting. At some point, you have to just take the leap. At some point, you have to just decide that it's going to work out the way that it's meant to work out. And if the worst case scenario is that if you lived abroad for 3 months, 6 months, a year, 2 years, and you decided that it wasn't for you and you came back to the United States, that is such an incredible journey. Thank you, Empress. I always laugh when I get gifts like that. What an incredible journey. If you went and lived abroad for a few months or a few years, even if it didn't turn out the way that you wanted it, do you not understand that you are going to be a changed person forever, regardless? But only if you are willing to take the leap. Nobody's going to push you. Nobody is going to come drag you on a plane. You have to feel this in your spirit. Y'all, living abroad is not for everybody, but drop the word yes in the comments if you feel called. If this has actually been on your spirit, if this has been on your soul, because it's not for everybody. But if you feel like this is something that I want to do before my time in this earthly realm expires, then what are you waiting on? What are you waiting on? The fear is not going to go. Feel the fear and do it anyway. That's what courage is. That's what confidence is. People ask me all the time, Bianca, oh, why are you not a confidence coach? How did you get all this confidence? Because one day I woke up and I decided that I'm willing to fail. I woke up and I decided I'm willing to look cringy. I'm willing to piss some people off. I'm willing to be controversial. I'm willing to get on this app and talk about my journey, even though I got trolls trolling me all the time. All the time. Oh, why don't you go then? Oh yeah, we don't need no more liberals here. Y'all, I have people in my comments who hate Black women. They hate us. They hate us. Troll me all the time. You saw somebody here earlier trolling me. There's been 2 people in here trolling me since I've been on this exact live. What am I doing? I'm still living in my purpose. I'm still inspiring you to take the leap regardless. And y'all want to live in this, well, I don't know how, in 2025, when you got Google and YouTube and TikTok. You have all of this free information. And if you don't want to do the research, if you don't want to have to spend all your time trying to figure it out on your own, then invest. This is why I have the Move Abroad bundle in my bio. That's why I created these resources. I created them so y'all can have one place to visit to get all of your moving abroad questions answered. This is why I go live, to show you this life is possible. Y'all, this is not just for rich white people. It's not. I grew up Black and broke, and I've been to 24 different countries. So what are you talking about? You get to keep your excuses. Nobody's going to take them from you. But only you can decide. I know I missed some comments. Hold on, let me scroll back up. Thank you, Keys. Thank you, Champagne Wishes. I think that's way easier if you can work remotely. My job isn't remote except for a couple of days a week. It's time to get a new job. Get a new job. People get new jobs all the time. People get new jobs all the time. People learn new skills all the time. People start new businesses all the time. People freelance all the time. What are your views on house sitting abroad? I love it. I have a few videos on my page on house sitting. I talked a little bit about it earlier. I've done 6 house sits, and one of them was abroad. One of them was in Mexico. That was in like end of March, early April. And I have information about trusted house sitters at the link in my bio and a 25% off promo code. We have grandkids that need to sell a house and all of our belongings first. Okay, well, it sounds like you already got a plan in place. You already know what you got to do. That's beautiful. You already know what you got to do. The question is, are you actually taking action on these things? That's the main question. How do you get work outside of the U.S.? You don't. You figure out how to make money. You figure out how to make U.S. money. Now, if you're going to do something like teach English, that's an option. You can get your TEFL, like you can teach English abroad. But outside of that, I personally do not recommend just trying to work abroad. Now, but there are options. I don't know if Nicola's still in here, but Nicole and we are going to do a live at some point, and we're going to, cause she even knows ways that you can have a job sponsor you. And I don't know if she's still in here, but I'll pin her comment so y'all can go follow her. But I always recommend people figure out your money situation before you go. Get a remote job that you can work from anywhere. Leverage the skills that you already have and start coaching, start consulting, create a digital product, go freelance. Do things y'all, there is no shortage of ways to make money. There's only a shortage of the belief that it's possible. You got to go scared, and that's on period. Yes, Nicole, I'm excited to go live with you as well. Is it true you can be a senior citizen at 50 in Mexico? I have no idea. Thank you so much, Empress. Going to Merida in a few weeks. I love Merida. I'm determined to relocate out of the country. Tiff, then where there's a will, there is a way. Where you going? Black Thought, I've been traveling since last February. I need to dive in and take the time to read the bundle I bought. Yes, you do. Okay? Yes, you do. I'm trying to get a remote editing job so I can move to Thailand. I think they have a visa for... A visa, you mean like the digital nomad visa? Yeah, digital nomad visas are really, really popular right now. A lot of countries offer them. I have a video on my YouTube page where I go through a lot of different countries that are offering digital nomad visas. There's a ton of them. And I also talk about visas and stuff in my Move Abroad bundle. Like I said, y'all, the information is out there, but nobody can do it for you. You have to be the one to decide that you are going to do what it takes to make this happen. I'll go watch ASAP. I'm going to travel around Asia for a few months. Oh, I love Asia so much. Those of you who have already gotten the bundle, thank you for your business. For those of you who still want to take advantage or you want to get that additional 50% off, you got a few more minutes before I take it out of my bio. Ask me any questions you have about the bundle because I am about to get off of here. But yeah, y'all, if you can think it, you can do it. Okay. Is there anything for abroad nurses? Kay, I actually did a live with a travel nurse. So, if you go to the interviews playlist on my page, there's I think there's 2 videos in there where it's like living abroad with a travel nurse, and the full interview is on my YouTube channel. What does the bundle include? So the bundle comes with a 21-page guide that answers all of your questions for how to move abroad, like how to choose, and this is a PDF. It's how to choose your country. I'm pulling it up here just so I can tell you exactly what's in it. I will look. Thank you. You are so welcome. Oop, is that it? Yeah, this is it. Okay, so the Move Abroad bundle comes with a 21-page guide. It goes through the Move Abroad mindset because I already done told y'all, okay? I already done told y'all that mindset is such a huge part of this. Moving abroad is mental. It is emotional. It is spiritual. It is not just about packing some bags and getting on the plane. So we go through the Move Abroad mindset and a gut check, right? We go through all the stuff that you need to know to prepare before you leave, right? So thinking about what countries you're going to go to, housing, international health insurance. We talk about people who have unique unique circumstances, like if you're traveling with kids, if you're traveling with pets, if you need to enroll your kids in school, if you're looking for places that are specifically friendly for LGBTQ+, if you're looking for accessible options, different ways that you can make money abroad. How to get a taste of living abroad. We talked about some options on here, right? We go into a deeper dive on how to test drive living abroad for those of you who are not ready to take the leap just yet. And then I have, is it 1 or 2 pages? It might be 3. And by the way, y'all, I update all my resources. And I'm going to, and I actually, the more I learn, the more you learn. I'm going to be updating this guide in the next like few weeks. And if you already have it, you'll just automatically get the updated version. 3 pages of people who you can follow and reach out to get help or inspiration. I got a lawyer turned pastry chef in France. And there's a woman here who helps remote workers leave the US and live in Europe for at least 5 years. Somebody living in Kenya, LGBTQ plus person in Thailand, someone who is autistic and LGBTQ plus, somebody living in Ghana, buying property in Ghana, someone who lives in Egypt, family of 4 in South Africa, how to move abroad to Panama, ADHD woman, 40 plus, living in Mexico with her daughter. Y'all, there's so many, when I say this is a resource guide, I mean, this is a resource guide. Like when you are like, how do I move abroad? You're going to get this guide. You're going to be able to go through all this information and you're going to get answers to all these questions that you have. So you have the 21-page guide. And then in the bundle, you also have 12 videos. So I did an entire series on how to move abroad. I went live for 12 days in a row. 12 days in a row. I went live and I went through all things living abroad. And let me see, because I can tell you exactly what's in that too. As soon as I find it. Is it this one? Bob Saget. Well, maybe it is, actually. Okay, well, that's not the one I want, though. Okay. Thank y'all for your patience. Man, show me the page. Ah, here it is. Okay. So, 12 different videos. The Move Abroad Mindset, how to manifest living abroad, what you need to prepare, things like document, things like packing, the top 3 options for making money abroad, how to make money with digital marketing and affiliate marketing. Those are the top 2 ways that I make money while I travel and live abroad. How to budget for your flights and housing abroad. How to choose your country. Or your country, your city. This is probably the number 1 question that I get. How do I know which place is best for me? We spent 3 days talking about how to choose the place that is right for you. Cost of living, visas, kids, pets, the top things that you want to consider. And I even spent an entire day going through my personal experiences and my recommendations based on places that I've been and people who I have met. Housing options, how you're even going to find out where you're going to live abroad, how to build your abroad life in a new community, how to get immersed in a completely different culture while you are abroad, how to keep home in your heart while you are abroad. And then we had a day for FAQs and next steps. So in the Move Abroad bundle, which is, y'all, with the promo code, don't forget to use the promo code, y'all. It's $48. $48. And you get an entire course on how to move abroad, and you get the bonus because you also get the Move Abroad resource guide. So all your move abroad questions answered in one area for $48. At the end of the day, it's up to you. Get it if you're serious. If you're not, cool, don't. But all I want you to think about is if you are serious about moving abroad and living abroad, nobody is going to do it for you. This is something that you have to decide to do. I'm buying it now. Thank you for your business, Chris. This is something that don't forget the promo code. I have to say that because some people do forget to use the promo code. It's Abroad 2025. Let me put it in here. Abroad 2025. Yeah, so that's the promo code that you put in and you can take off an additional 50% off. Y'all, if this is something that you want to do, oh, thank you, Candy Kitten. If this is something that you want to do, you can make it happen. You really can make it happen. Just stop doubting yourself. Stop letting other people doubt you. Stop letting your past experiences, your past traumas, stop letting these things hold you back. Nobody's getting out of this life alive. right? Like we know this. Like I know we know this subconsciously, but I want you to pull that to your conscious. I want you to pull that to your conscious mind. We're not getting out of this life alive. None of us. So why are we putting so much time and energy into caring what other people say? Why are we putting so much time and energy being afraid? Why are we allowing fear? Y'all, fear, oh my God. I could write a whole book on fear. The amount of things that we want in life that we don't even try. We don't even go after it because we are scared, y'all. Something has to change, because my biggest fear in life is getting to the end of my days and realizing that I did not live the way I wanted to live. Fear don't scare me no more. It did. It used to. And I'm not saying that I still don't have moments where I'm afraid. Y'all, last month I spoke at a conference. This is my first time ever speaking at a conference. I almost didn't do it. I almost was like, Bianca, you need to relax. Because I had not done an in-person speaking engagement since before COVID. And I had never spoken at a conference before. There was like almost 400 people at this conference. Okay, I was scared shitless. But I was like, so Bianca, what you gonna do? Not even try? And here go my brain. Girl, you haven't done a speaking engagement like this. What are you talking about? Why are you going to try to go do something this big? You need to ease your way in first. What if you get up there and choke? What if you get up there and throw up in front of everybody? And you know what I said? Well, that'll be a hell of a story to tell. Y'all, feel the fear and do it anyway. Because if you're waiting for the fear to go away, you're just going to keep settling. You're just going to continue to settle for a life that's mediocre. And I know that life. I know that life. And you're worthy of more than that. You deserve more than that. You can make it happen. All right, y'all. I am getting up off of here. Thank y'all so much for those of you who got the bundle. I'm gonna leave it in my bio for like another 2 to 3 minutes when I get off of here. You're welcome, Chris. I'm gonna take it up. I'm gonna leave it up for like another 2 to 3 minutes after I get off of live. But yeah, either way, please hit the follow button if you want more. If you don't, then don't hit the follow button. But I'll be back on here. Thank y'all so much for joining, and I will catch y'all next time.